Hello and welcome to another review here on Watch On channel. Today I'm reviewing this kind of micro brand, very interesting Flyboy aviation watch from the company AV-8, as you can see here below 12 o'clock. So this watch is in fact not released yet. This is the first day that we're actually able to release reviews of this watch. A line of watches celebrating the 100 years of existence of the Royal Air Force. So the Centenary watches for the Royal Air Force. The Royal Air Force of Great Britain, they were established just after World War I in 1918. And of course, this year we have 2018. And actually, on the 1st of April, we have 100 years of existence of the Royal Air Force. And that is why AV-8 are releasing 4 new watches. And they start out with 2 new watches, the 1920 Flyboy and the 1940 Flyboy. And the one I have here is the 1940 Flyboy. So this is a kind of a vintage-inspired aviation watch. This is with modern components, but inspired by how pilots' watches, vintage watches look back in the days. So this is the second of the watches that they're releasing. And actually it's following a timeline. This watch isn't released yet, but it's following a timeline. And the timeline is that you can right now go in and then you can sign yourself up to the 1920 or the 1940, this being the 1940 edition of the watch, of the new Flyboy line of watches. And then you can sign yourself up. And then later on the 7th of March this year, 2018, you'll be able to pre-order the watch. And if you pre-order the watch, you get some nice discounts, so you don't have to pay the full retail price for this watch, or the price that is going to be the real price. So the price for the early sign-up for the pre-order is 249 British pounds or $340 US. And I believe you can get 10 or 15% discount, additional discount, if you sign up for the watch on the pre-order page. So on the 22nd of March, this watch is going to get released along with the 1920 watch. So this is, like I said, the 1940 version. It right now 2 lines, the 1920 with 3 different watches and the 1940 line with 3 different watches. And this is the white dial, or the cream colored dial. You can get a grayish black, and then you could get the black version. So 3 lines, and this particular version, the serial number for this is the AV-8 So this is the white version, and I really enjoy this watch. I really think that it's a very interesting way of doing it for AV-8 watches, that they're actually releasing these watches celebrating 100 years of Royal Air Force. And I really think that they really captured a lot of interesting details with this vintage-inspired line of watches. So let's get more into this particular watch. Okay, so the diameter is just about 42 millimeters, including the crown. It's just about 45. Lock to lock, the lock width is 22. From lock to lock, yes, it's 48, and the thickness is just about 13 millimeters. So you could say this is a vintage inspired watch, but with modern dimensions. So you get all the big dimensions, and you, of course, with aviation watches, with pilots watches, they are bigger. Actually, back in the days, if this was a pilot's watch in, say, the Second World War, it would actually be up to about 50 millimeters in diameter, because they were designed to be fitted outside of the pilot's suit, so that the pilots could easily read the time and time the bombing and the flying and all the stuff that they were timing. So again, this is the cream colored version with the cream colored dial, and I really like it. As you can see, if we have a look at the dial, you get all the numbers here, the minute markings, as well as the minute markings on the inner ring here, as well as 12 o'clock. All of them are applied, so it gets this very nice 3-dimensional 3D look to it. I think it's a very clean dial. You get the AV-8 name, and then you get the Centenary here at 9 o'clock, sorry. And this just very simple design. You get a date window at 3 o'clock, and down here at between 3 and 6 o'clock you get the small seconds. Very nice sword hands. I would have wished that the sword hands in the loom matched the kind of vintage cream colored dated, you know, cream color of the dial, but still very nice decision with the hands here, I think. I really think that the big point of this watch is definitely the way that they made the dial, that they made this kind of cream colored dial with, I hope you can sense it, but you get this kind of, maybe you can see it easier here. You get this kind of very nice texture to the dial, which looks really great in my opinion. It makes this watch look kind of like a vintage watch that you found in your grandfather's drawer somewhere, and then you just took it out and got it serviced, and then you're ready to wear it. So all in all, a very nice dial. I think the dial is of course the big thing with this watch. As you can see, the case here, all brushed, very lightly brushed, but it gives it this kind of vintage inspired look, and it gives it this kind of, you know, tool watch look that they decided to brush it all. You get brushing all over the case, but on the beveling, on the locks here, you get a very nice polishing, so you get both, and I think it's a nice little detail that you get this super nice polishing here on the beveling. The crown is signed with the AV-8 logo, which is like a typical aviation logo. And then you get this very nice diamond crown, which is also super much a reminiscence of how pilot's watches used to look. If we look at the case back here, you get a see-through case back. All is sapphire crystal. You get a see-through case back. You get the serial number here. Stainless steel. 1940s Flyboy. Water resistant down to 50 meters. You also get a custom rotor inside the movement here with the Flyboy, and just very simple AV-8. Also you get AV-8 printed on the crystal here. So this is the Miyota 8218 with 21 jewels. So this is a kind of a standard but very reliable automatic movement from Citizen, the Miyota movement. If we take a look at the strap here, this is high quality leather. I must say at this price point I was very surprised at the quality of this leather strap. It's thick, oh, the smell is it's genuine leather, and it's just super comfortable. I also like, you can see I've been wearing this watch quite a bit, and you can see how it starts to wear from being bent, and I really actually enjoy this. I think it gives it a very nice look, that it doesn't look perfect, but it actually looks worn and vintage. So genuine leather, the aviation logo here. Also you get a signed buckle with AV-8 here. The overall weight of this watch is only 80 grams. But it wears, you can really feel the watch on your wrist, but it doesn't wear very heavily, and of course it's not a dive watch. So all in all, I really enjoy this watch. I think it's a nice offering from AV-8. If you're a bit more conservative and you want the more true vintage look, you will of course go for the black dial or the more gray style. This is probably the standard out dial, but I really enjoy the texture. Also here you can see the 3D effect with the numerals, the minute markings. This is how the AV-8 Flyboy 1940 wears on my 7.1 inch wrist, which is around 17.5 to 18 centimeters. All in all, it wears super nicely. Again, I must really compliment AV-8 for the leather strap. It's super high quality. All the details are super nice, and it just fits your wrists. It hugs your wrist. It feels super comfortable. So when you buy watches, usually at this price point, you buy Seikos or Orients, the leather straps are always a disaster, and then you have to go and spend maybe $20, $30, $40, $50 more to get a nice strap. So all in all, when you get a watch at this price point with a nice leather strap, it has been kind of a bargain for you, because I have never bought a Seiko watch at this price point around $300 to $400 US, where I didn't have to change the strap, and then all of a sudden the watch becomes $40, $50 US more expensive. So all in all, a nice package, I would say, from AV-8. And just before I get into my pluses and minuses of this AV-8 1940s Flyboy, let's have a quick look at the packaging. For a watch in this price range, I would say that the packaging is very impressive, and I'm just going to show you very quickly the packaging of this AV-8 1940 watch. It comes in this nice cardboard box, outer box, where you have the Flyboy name and the 1980 and 1940 up here, and here you have the 1920 and 1960. So when you remove the cardboard box, inside you find another box, and this is like a little, almost kind of like a chest, you can see. So this is some sort of fabric, and here you have this letters, stamp letter sign saying AV-8 Centenary. So very nice box here, and then you just open it here, and inside you will find your watch. Up here you have the watch down here. Up here you will find, let me try to show you, you will find your manual, which is very easy and short. It's not a very complicated watch, but very simple. Also you can find, this is actually an advertisement for following AV-8 on Instagram, and here you have your Centenary limited edition warranty. So for a watch in this price range, I would say that you get a quite impressive packaging. So as you can see, and as I mentioned earlier also, they are releasing a 1920, a 1940, and later on they are probably also, as I can imagine, releasing a 1960 and a 1980. So somehow I actually think it could be quite fun to actually have all four watches, to have this collection of 4 aviational watches from different time periods. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what AV-8 do with the 1980 and the 1960 watches. So let's get into the different pluses and minuses with this watch. So all in all, I'm very happy about this watch. I think it does the job perfectly. It's not a very expensive watch. You get a nice watch for the money, and you get a watch you can wear with pride. I also really just enjoy how easy it is to set the time on this watch. So you just pull out the crown and just look at how fast I can set the time. The whole point of a pilot's watch is that it's very easy to set the time to time new stuff. So they really hit the bull's eye with this one, that it's easy to set the time. I tried other pilot's watches where it was much more of a hassle to set the time. Also really like the crown, of course, like I said, the leather straps. So all in all, a nice package. You can always discuss, should they upgrade the movement to a 9000 series from Miyota? Pluses and minuses. Well, you get hand winding with this watch, and that's actually the most important thing. But what you don't get is hacking. So you can see the second hand keeps moving even though I pull out the crown, and that's makes it a little less easy to set a completely exact precise time. But I don't think complete exact timekeeping is the point of this watch. It's a fun watch. It's a fun watch you can wear, and you can think back on how the pilots in the 1940s in the Battle of Britain defended Europe against the Nazis. All in all, a very nice package. What I would say, and I'm not going to show you a lume shot because it makes no sense, the lume is extremely disappointing with this watch. You actually only get the lume on the hands, and I don't understand why AV-8 made this decision. So you don't get any lume anywhere on the watch. You only get mediocre lume on the hands, and of course you can guess the time when you have lume on the hands, but still it's a little bit weird that you don't lume a pilot's watch. I know that in the 1940s pilot's watches weren't lume, but you're trying to combine history with modern watchmaking, with technology of today, and I think they should have done something about the lume. It makes no sense that it's not lume, so that's the biggest letdown of this watch. So I hope you enjoyed this watch review of the AV-8 1940s Flyboy here on Watch On channel. Remember to subscribe and follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Leave a thumbs up and leave a comment if you have any questions or you have any comments about this watch. You can find the link to AV-8's sign up page for this watch and the 1920s watch down below. Remember to sign up if you're interested in one of these watches. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.